Hey y'all, welcome back to the page. I am Laurie Anne, Community Manager and Designer at Southern Charm Wreaths. In this video, we will be making a beautiful spring beaded hoop wreath. So let's get started. I want to show you what we'll be working with. I have some beautiful purple cabbage roses, really pretty for spring. I have some yellow ranunculus that we will be using. I'm going to throw in both some greenery. This is a dusted or flocked greenery. It has little teeny purple florals that go with it, as well as some yellow berry grass we're going to be working with. And I'm going to throw in a couple of other greeneries as it goes. If it's needed, I will be designing freestyle. And what I feel like it might need, I'll throw in. So the first step we want to do is get our beaded hoop prepared. I'm going to bring you down and show you how to prep your beaded wreath. Here we go. I have made a piece of styrofoam. This is about 4 inches long by 2 inches wide. Okay, so it's 4 inches long, 2 inches wide, and right at 1 inch thick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a place where I want to put it on my wreath. And the way I do it is you just zip tie them down. I want to make sure I've got these as secure as possible. Just like that. Now this is going to give me an area to put my elements in. This is what it looks like on the back. To ensure that the beads don't turn, I am going to go in and put hot glue in between the beads. They will stay firm and not move. We're going to give that an opportunity to dry just for a minute. I want to look at my cabbage roses. These are very pretty. There's a darker purple color in them as well as a lighter color. I am going to pick out a couple that I like. I'm not going to use the whole bush. The beaded hoop wreath, or the hoop wreath, is more on the minimalist side of things. So we're not going to put a whole lot in it. So I'm going to cut some of these down. I would definitely like the little ones. We're going to see if we can throw some little ones in as well. Okay, I think that's enough to get started. I'm also going to cut my ranunculus down. Just going to throw some of this in. I love ranunculus. I love ranunculus. The other thing I love is purple and yellow together for spring. I just think it makes a beautiful combination. Okay, now that we have our base of our hoop wreath prepared, the next thing I want to the next thing I want to do is build my shape or my form. Now, form shows where things are going to go, right? It determines the overall height of your design, the width of your design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some of this eucalyptus in and get started. So I am bending this a little bit. I'm going to pull you out just a little bit. And all I'm going to begin to do is build my form or my base. Now, I want it to curve up. So I'm going to stick this in at an angle, and I'm going to bend it up a little bit. You can manipulate your elements around. This one little leaf right here wants to stay turned, so I'm going to clip that one little leaf off, put a little bit of hot glue on it, and I'm going to come back in, and if it's strong enough, put it in, right like that. All right. Now, what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So I'm going to get another one. I want to make sure that my line or my height is basically the same, right? So I wouldn't want a big one up here or this one to be higher than this one unless I purposely wanted to do that, right? So when I'm putting this in, when I'm inserting the next one on this side, I want to make sure that it is approximately the same height. And I'm going to put this one in at an angle. Just like that right there. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one more with a still pick on it. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put this right here. Okay. Let me turn it around so you can see. This is where we are so far. If you'll notice, they're approximately at the same height. They do not have to be matchy-matchy. We just want the eye to be at the same height. Now, I did the upper portion. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to fill in a lower portion. This is going to take a longer stem. What this does is it helps you make an outline, basically. You're making an outline of where you want your elements to go. Right. There we are. So we have our foundation and our form built. The next step is we're going to continue to add floral elements in. I like to start with my largest elements first, and that would be the purple cabbage rose. Okay, just going to use the purple cabbage rose. Now, I don't have very far to go, so when I cut, I'm not going to cut very much. In other words, my stem is not going to be very long. All right. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up here at an angle, and I'm going to stick it down in. It is pointing away from me. It is at an angle. Okay? The next one I'm going to do, I'm going to come down, and I'm going to put this one as if it's falling down. By doing this, it's going to give your viewer, it's going to add interest to your design for your viewer. All right. I'm going to come in and put the middle, put a rose on the middle, in the middle. Right here. Just right like that. Okay, I'm going to pull this around and let you see. As you can see, I have a line running right here, and that's wonderful. But I need to balance it. I need to balance this line with some more purple roses. So the way you do that is, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a little bit more purple on this side of the design, just like that. I'm going to throw some right here. And I'm going to put one more directly across right here. I'm using the same principle. We talk about it in our wreath making design group. What you do to one side, you do to the other. All right, let's turn it around and let you see it. This right here has equal amount of weight on each side, just like this has equal amount of weight on each side. Okay, the next step we're going to do is continue to add our florals in. And I am going to scale down and begin to work with these yellow ranunculus. Which is going to be very pretty. Let's cut this down a little bit more. I'm going to bring it right in here. I'm looking for pops of yellow in the design. This one has a bud on it as well. I could bring this one over right here. This one is coming out a little bit more, which is fine. I like that. When you add dimension or space in between your elements, it really adds a really nice touch. Now, what I'm looking for at this point is distributing my color, as well as thinking about what you do to one side, you do to the other. So I'm going to come right in here. I'm going to add some yellow right on this side. I think that's good for the time being. Turn it around and let you see. See that yellow pop of color right there? Looks really pretty. We by no means are finished though. All right, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to add some filler. Okay, you want to make sure that you bend your elements when you're working with them. I'm going to put a little steel pick on this. Now, I'm going to come in anywhere where I see a hole in between where my greenery, where my first greenery is. All right, I have a purple floral that I want to put in. These are very thin, so what you can do is either use a steel pick or a floral pick. They're so thin, they're not going to be strong enough to go into the styrofoam. So that's why I'm putting a steel pick on it. And I am going to push it right up into the styrofoam. There we go. I want to make sure that my purple colors have been distributed well, and they have. I still have some of these left, and I will possibly come back and use some more of them. Okay, the next greenery I would like to put in is this. It has a little bit of yellow in it, so it's going to pull out the yellow ranunculus, the color of the yellow ranunculus. The thing about these beaded hoop wreaths is you don't have to use much supplies. They don't require a whole lot. They are pushers. You can push them up as well as divide them. Trying to figure out what I want to do with this grass. So sometimes with the grass, depending on what type of greenery you have, you can just pull it up and it will turn or it will curve for you. This is a plastic greenery, and I don't want it looking straight. I want it to be more natural looking and curved. I want to come in and fill in right here. There we go. Very pretty. See, it pulls the yellow out of the ranunculus. Okay, what we did to one side, we did to the other. That helps with balance. And we talk about balance in our wreath making design group. All right, I need to keep going. I'd like to put some down here just to anchor it. So the whole goal is we are trying to get our viewer who is looking at our design, we're trying to help their eye go completely through the design. I need something down here that is going to help pull the eye completely through. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. All right, I see holes. At this stage, we're going to look for holes. And what a hole really is it's where you don't see color. You don't see any type of element in your design. For example, here is a hole right here. There is a hole back here, right? I have a little hole right here. And I have a little hole right here. So I'm going to go back in with the greenery I have. I really don't want to use eucalyptus at this point, although I do have some lamb's ear. And I do have some dusted bead grass, which I really like that. Okay, so bead grass would be really pretty, and I might put some of that in. But it is linear, right? It doesn't have a lot of bulk to it. This, as opposed to this boxwood looking greenery is going to cover more area than this beaded grass is. This is linear, right? And this is bulkier. So I'm going to throw a little bit more of this in. I need the bulkiness because I need it to cover some holes. I need some areas where it's going to cover it, right? For example, I can come right in and put this right here and see how much it fills out. It fills all of this out. Now, the last step is to go back in and add a little bit of texture of some kind. What I'm going to use for texture tonight is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some of the beads, the yellow berry that is on this. I have 3 stems left, and I'm going to use the actual berries. Very pretty. Like some yellow berry right here. See how by adding that texture, it elevates your design, plus you're filling in small little holes. You're giving it life, so to speak. There we go. Now, I want to come in and throw some of these purple florals back in. All right. Now, the last step is to go in and look real closely and see if there's any other area that you can fill in. I see one little area that I could fill in right here with a eucalyptus leaf. This is a small eucalyptus leaf, not a big one. I'm just filling in the area. Okay. I see something right here, so I could come in and put one right here, just like that. All right, I think that's it. What do you think? Here it is. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Now, what you can do to the back is you can come in and cover the back up with leaves or moss, however you'd like to cover it. You can certainly cover the back up. And there it is. It's a very beautiful spring hoop wreath that anyone would enjoy. These are very popular. I'm sure you would love it. Give it a try and let us know if you have any questions. I hope this inspired you to get creative with silk flowers. Comment below what your biggest takeaway was and join us for more details or detailed instruction in our wreath making design group. You can find that over at southerncharmwreaths.com, okay? It's been a joy to be with you here today. I want to thank Julie again for inviting me over. Again, my name is Laurie Anne. I am the community manager as well as a design coach at Southern Charm Wreaths. Have a blessed day, and as always, make sure you bless somebody else. There's no greater feeling than helping somebody when they need a blessing, okay? Y'all take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.